we'll be having the cousins, so on. So many relations will be there in a family. And that is family. And when I say about the relationship, that is relationship. The relationship is. And the relationship is between one self and another self. So we'll be discussing some important aspects of relationship, where the first thing states that the relationship is there. And it's already there. And we can also see that, or are we able to see that this relationship is between one self and another self? And the next aspect of relationship is there are feelings in relationship. When I'm able to see that relationship is between one self and another self, and these feelings in relationship is there in oneself for the other self. And these feelings can be recognized. They are definite. There are 9 definite feelings in relationship, which starts with the foundational value of trust, followed with respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, and love. So these are the 9 definite feelings in relationship, which starts with the foundational value of trust, and the complete value is love. When I'm able to understand these feelings, when I'm able to accept these feelings within me, understand the feelings, accept it, and then I try to bring it up in my behavior, which leads to the fulfillment. And when the other is able to evaluate it, then this will lead to the mutual happiness. So these are some of the aspects that we can see in the relationship. This is what we need to understand, which will then make us to ensure the harmony in the family. So when I say that the relationship is between oneself and another self, and I'm able to say it, and there are feelings in the relationship which are these 9 definite feelings. And when relationship is between oneself and the another self, then these feelings are also in oneself for the other. Then what is the purpose or the role of the body? So the body is used in expressing the relationship. So with this, we'll start with the foundation value trust. We'll try to understand what does this foundational value means in ensuring the mutual happiness in the relationship. And then we will move on further with the remaining feelings. So when I say trust, what is that which comes into your imagination? What is that you understand by the word trust? We use this word, right? So what does it mean? Are we able to see that the trust is to be assured? Trust is to be assured, but assured of what? So trust is to be assured, that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. Trust is to have the clarity that the other wants to make me happy, the other wants to make me prosperous. This is trust. See, when we discussed about the basic human aspiration of every individual, we were able to see that the basic human aspiration of mine as well as yours or anyone is to have the continuity of happiness and prosperity, isn't it? So when I talk about the feelings, when I talk about the foundational value in the relationship, which is nothing but the trust, to trust means this. But now let us explore this feeling of trust. So when I say trust, it basically involves two individuals. So what we will do, we will take ourselves as the first individual, that you are the first individual. And if you have people with you, then you can call them to come join the session, sit with you, where we'll be doing some basic exploration with this feeling of trust. If not, then you can think of someone in your family, a parents, sibling, close friend, whomever you are comfortable with. We'll be having a virtual person and we will try to answer some of the simple questions. But it's always better that if you have people with you right now, you can call them, ask them to sit, and we will try to answer. I hope we are okay with this. So we'll proceed with the set of questions. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to evaluate trust, basically between the two individuals. So we'll be having two sets of 4 questions each. And both of you can answer the question separately. We'll make a note of it. So it will be like the yes or no question. So we'll start with 1A. 1A, the question or the statement is, I want to make myself happy. I want to make myself happy. So this is the first question. We can answer for this question. What is your answer? You can check for yourself. You want to make yourself happy? And at least for me, it's going to be yes. So there is a tick mark. And the next question is, I want to make the other happy. So here, the other is the person who is sitting next to you, or it's the virtual person who is sitting next to you. So what do you think? Do you want to make the other happy? And it's an S for me. I want to make the other happy. So I'll proceed further. The third question is, the other wants to make himself or herself happy. So what do you think? Does the other wants to make himself or herself happy? Yes. So we have again a tick mark here. And the last question is, the other wants to make me happy. What do you think? Does the other wants to make you happy? There is a doubt. I'm not sure. Maybe or may not be. Because at times I can see that I'm not being happy because of the other. So now when we look into these set of questions which talks about the intentions or the natural acceptance, when I say I want to make myself happy, it's what the desirable status. So this is what you really want to be, isn't it? So all these questions are something which is, I mean, I have answered these questions which is based on my natural acceptance, which is based on my intention, what I really want to be. Now we'll move on to the next set of questions, which actually talks about the ability or the competence. So 1B is the first question that I'm going to have in this set. So the first question says, or it asks, I am able to make myself always happy. Just think over this question. The question is, am I able to make myself always happy? Are you able to do that? At least for me, I can see that I'm not able to make myself happy always. Even though I want to make myself happy, I'm not able to do it. So I put a question mark here. Because it's like at times yes and at times no. So I'll move on to the next question. I'm able to make the other always happy. So what do you think? Are you able to make the other always happy? Again a question mark? Because I'm able to see that it's not that I'm able to make the others happy always. Then going on to the third question. The other is able to make himself or herself happy always? And finally, the other is able to make me always happy. 3B is a question mark because I don't see the other being happy always. And 4B is double question mark. These these set of questions is talking about the ability or the competence, the current state of mind as well as the current state of the other, which means that what you are right now. Are we able to see this? We talked about trust, which states that it's to assure that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. But when we look into this question 4A and 4B, when I ask this question to myself, what is the intention of the other? Do the other wants to make me happy? I'm not very much pretty sure of, which means that I have the doubt on the intention of the other. The 4A, which talks about the want part, which talks about what you really want to be, what the other really want to be. So you can see here, when I was answering about my intention in 1A and 2A, I am very much pretty sure that my intentions are always right. Like I want to make myself happy, I want to make the other happy. But the same question, when you look into 2A and 4A, when I talk about whether I want to make the other happy, it's yes. But when I get this question of whether the other wants to make me happy, then I doubt. I doubt the intention of the other. See, one thing we can make sure for the person who is sitting next to you or for the person who is there virtually with you, you are the other. Am I able to make my point clear? So when I talk about my intention, I think that my intentions are always right, and when I talk about the other's intention, then I doubt the intention of the other, which is nothing but the mistrust. I want to make myself happy always. That is my intention, but I'm not able to make myself happy always. That is my ability. And similarly, the other wants to make himself or herself happy always, which is their intention, but they are not able to make themselves happy always, which speaks about their competence. We can also check all those things. This 2A, 2B, I want to make the other happy, but my competence is not to that level. I'm not able to make the other continuously happy. We need to just explore, do we have this trust on the intention of the other, or do we have this mistrust? Yeah, this is an example, a common example. We will be facing such kind of n number of things that is happening in our day-to-day life. One of such example is like when I talk about myself, if the glass is being broken, or when I was holding a glass and if it got broken, if it fell down, then it will be like the glass broke accidentally. But if the same thing is going to happen with the other, then what do we tell? Do we say that the other broke the glass? Is it happening? The another example is when I got late, then it's the traffic which is the reason for my delayed arrival. But if the other is going to be late, then the other is born late comer. So are we able to see that even if I make the same mistake 100 times or even more than that, I never doubt my intention. The mistakes has happened accidentally, which means that I have this feeling that I'm special and I'm reinforcing that I'm good. Even though I don't have this ability, I do not make effort to improve my competence. But what is happening with respect to the other? Not even for 100 times. Even if the other is going to make a mistake twice or thrice, then are we doubting their intention? Do we say that he or she makes the mistakes intentionally? She wants to make me unhappy, which is going to lead to have a feeling of opposition, irritation, angry towards the other. And I try to reinforce that the other is bad and they cannot improve. Is it happening with us? Are we facing any such kind of incidences in our life? If you are in a hostel or if you are with your family, the another thing which commonly happens is like when your family member or the friends forget to turn off the fan or light, then do we make such kind of statements? Do we doubt the intention of the other? Are we getting into this feeling of opposition, getting irritation, angry? If that is happening, then that is the major reason for problems in relationship. Doubting on the intention of the other is the major reason, which means that basically I'm having a mistrust on the other. So, what is the common mistake that is happening in the relationship? See, we looked at these two sets of questions, right? The first set, the 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A, which talked about the intention, that is about the natural acceptance. So, am I doing this mistake like when I want to evaluate myself? On what basis am I evaluating? Are we able to see that when I want to evaluate, then I am evaluating myself on the basis of my intention, on the basis of my natural acceptance? Are we doing this? I just forgot to turn off the fan when leaving the room. So, actually, I just forgot. My intentions are to save the electricity, but I was in a rush, so I forgot to turn it off. Which means that I'm evaluating myself on the basis of intentions. But if the same thing is happening with the other, he always does this. Whenever he is going to come last from the room or from the classroom, he always intentionally leave the switch turned on. So what is the basis of the evaluation here? Am I evaluating the other on the basis of their competence, which is their ability? Are we doing this? So what is happening? I doubt their intention. I assume that the lack of the competence to be their lack of intention. Are we doing this in any time, or have we done this in our life? So when I'm doing this, when I'm evaluating myself on the basis of intention, and when I evaluate the other on the basis of their competence, assuming that the lack of competence of the other to be their lack of intention, then I will feel opposed to the other. I get irritated, angry, which is the main reason, as we discussed, which is the main reason for problems in relationship. So when I have these kind of opposition, irritation, angerness within me for the other, then I may not speak to the other for days. And ultimately, it may lead to, at certain cases, when I'm very much strong, when I have this strong feeling of opposition, then it's like even there will be a breakup of this relationship. We can also see some of us would have also lost many good friends and relations like this because of this doubt on the intention of the other. We can just have the self reflection. See, when I say that I have this trust, when I have this feeling of trust for the other, that is, if you have unconditional, continuous trust on intention, that is the natural acceptance of the other. And if you are able to see that the other is lacking the competence, then what will you do? There are some options which is given over here. The first is try to improve his competence and also improve your competence. The next is getting irritated, getting angry, having a feeling of opposition. What will be your option? You can also respond in the chat. What will be your option? If I'm going to, when I make sure that I have this unconditional and continuous trust, on intention, which means that whatever is happening, so unconditional means that without any conditions, without any expectation, and continuous is like for each and every moment. When I'm able to ensure this feeling of trust, then what will we do? So if you say that you will be able to go on with the first option of trying to improve his or her competence and also improving my own competence, then this means that we have the trust on the intention, and with this we will be responding to the other. See, I know that each one of us has this innate faculty of natural acceptance in us, and the natural acceptance is what we want to be, our desirable state, and that is our intention. So I know that my intentions are very pure. Similarly, the intention of the other is also very pure, but we lack in competence. So similar to that, the other will also be lacking in competence. So when I have this trust on the other, so I will try to improve my own competence, as well as I will try to make a program to improve the other's competence, which ensures the response from my end. But if I'm going to have any of the other three things, like if I'm going to get irritated because of the behavior of the other, or if I'm going to get angry, or if I'm going to have this feeling of opposition to the other, which means that I have the doubt on their intention. And this leads to the reactions of mine towards the other. Are we able to see this? We can also check for ourselves. Are we responding or are we reacting? What is that we are doing to the large extent? We can try to understand about our own self, about the trust that we have for the other by answering this question, by reflecting on this question. So, how many persons in your family and friends do you have trust on intentions? That is, the trust on the natural acceptance of the other unconditionally and continuously. Unconditionally and continuously, which means that I am not doubting the other even for a second. Can you reflect on this? How many persons you have in your family or close circle with whom you have this unconditional and continuous trust? So the number or the response to the questions gives an idea of my current state on the understanding about the relationship. See, this is fundamental. Trust on intention is the foundation of relationship. So only when I'm able to have this basic trust on the intention of the other, then I'll be able to understand and have a fulfillment in relationship. So this helps us to get an idea of our own current state, understanding or getting to know my own understanding about relationship from all that we have explored till now. So trust, as we are discussing, is to have the clarity that the other wants to make me happy, that the other intends to make me happy. So if I'm going to have the clarity, and with this clarity, if I'm again going to take up the two sets of questions which we have answered before. So again, I want to make myself happy. I want to make the others happy. The other wants to make himself or herself happy. And when I'm going to answer this fourth question with the trust on the other, then I'll be able to see that the other wants to make me happy. But the competence of the other may be different. The other wants to make me happy, but the other is not able to make me happy always, because that talks about the current competence of the other. Are we able to see this? Are we able to understand what does this feeling of trust means? So with this understanding of trust, so even if I am going to make a mistake even once, I'll be clear about my intention, and the mistake has happened because of lack of competence, and then I will try to make effort to improve my competence. I'll be ready to learn from my mistakes. And even if the other is going to make the same mistake 100 times, even then I'll be clear about the other's intention. Again, I know that the mistake is due to lack of competence of the other and not due to lack of intention of the other. So I will try to make an effort to improve his competence with a feeling of affection. The most important thing is the other may be having difficulty in understanding, and also I may also have difficulty in explaining. So with all of this, I'll be able to understand that trust on intention is the starting point for mutual development in relationship. Are we able to see this? So when I'm able to see that the intention of the other is same as my intention, so then how is that we can have the resolution of concerns in relationship? I can see that the intention of both of us are same. And I can also see that the competence may be lacking. The competence is lacking in me and also in the other. So what I will do, I will begin to see the strength of the other rather than making just the note of their weakness. So it takes time for me, right? In order to develop my competence, I can see that it takes time for me. And it's the same for the other. So I'll be redefining my expectation and I try to become complementary to the other. I'll be able to relate in a more natural manner with the other. So when I'm having this feeling of irritation or opposition or anger towards the other, then I'm in no way to get connected with the other. I will not be able to see the relationship with the other. But when I'm able to understand all these things, when I'm able to understand about the intention, the competence, and then I'll be able to be more natural in relating myself to the other. I'll be able to make a program in a freely and in a free, and I will be able to share it up openly. And that's the point where I start working for mutual development. So by understanding trust, I will have the feeling of trust in me. When I'm able to understand trust and accept it and have the feeling of trust in me, then automatically the anger, irritation, opposition in me for the other reduces. The more I develop the understanding towards this foundational value, I will be able to see that all these things of angerness, opposition will be reducing to a greater extent. And at a particular point of time, I'll be able to be only with the feeling of relationship for the mutual development. So to sum up, we started this session to discuss about the trust, which is the foundation of relationship, which is the first session in the harmony in the family. So trust is to be assured that the other intends to make me happy and prosperous. It is the foundation of relationship. I can see that the competence of mine as well as the other may be lacking. So I may want to have a particular state where my current state will be something different. So if I'm able to say it and if I start to understand trust, then the anger, irritation, and opposition in me reduces, which means that I have started working on developing my competence first and then become a help in the development of the other's competence. So trust, the foundation value, the clarity on the intention of the other is the starting point for mutual development and relationship. So with this, when we move on to the home assignment, we can take up this assignment where we can check how many persons in our family or friends do we have this trust unconditionally and continuously. So we can also make effort to have the mutual improvement of mutual competence rather than getting irritated, angry, or getting this feeling of opposition. In case, suppose, if you get angry or irritated, you can just check within yourself, how do you feel? Do you feel happy when you are angry? Or do you feel this happiness when you express it? We can also check on what is the outcome when we express the anger. Is it leading to mutual happiness? And what is the reason for your angerness? Is it the other or my own self? We can reflect on all these things. This will give an idea of the trust that we have, and also how is that we can make a program to ensure the mutual happiness. And finally, you can talk to two close friends. There is a possibility that we might have lost some relationship because of the lack of trust. We can talk with them and we can just let them know that we have understood the difference between the intention and competence and we want to reconnect. We can also make a note of their response. It may be a response or reaction. We can also make a note of it and we'll try to share it up in the next session. So with this, if there are any questions, we may take it up. Or else we will close this session for today. So any clarification or reflection from your end? You can share it up. So if there are no more clarification needed, or if there are no reflection, then I think we can end the session. And
Didi. Thanks, Didi.
yeah, thank you, Bhaiya.
Thanks, Didi. दीदी एक वन क्वेश्चन.
Yes, Maya, yes.
ICUCRC के mother is and son and daughter are with mother. Relation is instead of father. Yeah,
Maya, I'm not
except आप.
able to hear your voice properly.
अच्छा अच्छा अब आवाज नहीं आ रही दीदी, अब आवाज आ रही.
Uh,
हेलो.
yes, it's audible now. Please go
यस
ahead.
दीदी, आई सी the relation in relation in family. One son is more related to mother
Hmm.
except to father.
Hmm.
Hence, son always uh, believe to mother more than father, and but father is also having the trust to with our son. But son is not uh, see this stress always. So how to this relation is so far so good? What is your opinion about that?
Maya, what I can understand is you mean to say that in certain families you can see the kids are having more trust on their mother, or their behavior is in such a way that they seems to be like having a, I mean, yeah, a kind of towards their mother rather than the father. Is the thing which you have said, isn't it, Baya?
Yes, yes, Didi.
Yeah. So generally, uh, what I can see from this is this generally happens in every family where we see the kids to be more related to the mother. It may be because of the societal setup where the mother are more towards taking care of the kids when they are very little. But there is another possibility that the kids are feeling very comfortable to express themselves with the mother rather than the father. So I can take my own example where I feel very comfortable to talk with my mother. I do have this trust, respect, and other feeling towards my father, but I still, I'm not very much okay to convey certain things to my father. So this may happen, but this doesn't mean that the particular child is not having trust or the other feelings towards the father. This is from my own exploration or the thing that I can see for myself. But what we can do is when we want to ensure this particular part or relationship, then we may make the kids to come and sit and we can talk with them. We can express this to them. Uh, like we can say that I'm able to see that you are being more related with your mother. You are expressing everything to her. And what is that you want me to do? There are some possibilities where the kids may feel that, like I have felt that my father is very strict. So I literally get fear to express something towards my father. That may be also an case where the father may fail to understand that. So, whatever may be the things or issue that we have with the relationship, with a feeling of relationship without having this opposition or with the clarity on the intention of the other, we may sit together and discuss and get to know what is that the son or daughter is expecting from me, and where is that I'm lagging, where I should improve my competence so that they are able to be related to me as they are with their mother. So this is what from my end, Baya.
Yes. Okay, Didi. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Baya. And Manu Didi, over to you.
Ji Didi, since there is no further question or no hand risen, we can call it a day now.
Yes, Didi.
Thank you, Didi, for being there, for helping us in our exploration journey. See you again in upcoming next Wednesday with the further exploration journey. Thank you so much. Namaste.